Hello everybody, welcome to my channel Ashley's Treasure, and today I'm going to make like a little journaling card. I really want to use this little deer, this Monopoly card, and I found this little page from a children's book, so I kind of got an idea what I'm going to go with. I wanted to use these two cardstocks. I got this off-white and some craft. I thought about using some cardstock that I embossed, maybe some cheesecloth. I also had some stuff from ephemera from Tim Holtz that I could possibly use that I had out that had the colors going on. I was trying to stay with the light blue and then like the colors of the deer. I also punched out some 1-inch circles from 12 by 12 scrapbook paper that was bow bunnies. But first I wanted to use this picture that I got from a book, and I wanted to give kind of a torn look, and so I wanted to tear the white parts off first, and it was being a little difficult at times, but eventually I got it. But so I tried doing it the other way the next time. Like this, but it didn't leave that white mark when you tear it the opposite way. So on all the other ones I made sure that I did it the other way, so it gives a little bit of that white torn look at the edges. Granted, it was a little harder having less to grip on, but I made it work. Just kept picking at it until it was the way I wanted it, and kind of pressed it down so it would lay flat after I tore it off, and then retrying the top again. Eventually I got and just kind of picked off the corners just a tad bit, and got the rest out of the way. And now I'm going to, I didn't really measure, I just kind of knew how big of a border I wanted around it on the white, and so I just kind of eyeballed it. But yeah, I'm picking the corners off so it won't be too pointy, so they'd be kind of curved in a way, but with that torn look. And so I am getting my We Are Memories trimmer out, and again I'm just kind of guessing how big I want it. I didn't really do measurements. I kind of marked it with my nail, kind of like where I wanted it. So then I started thinking that maybe I should glue this on first so I know exactly how big I wanted it. So I used my glue stick, my permanent glue stick, and stuck it on first and then trimmed it. And then I used a tool that I got from a thrift store for $1 and just kind of pressing it down. You could use pretty much anything. Like if you have a used like gift card or whatever, that works great too. And now I'm going to just keep kind of trimming it till I have the border that I want. And now I'm going to do the same thing on the craft cardstock as well. And I want it a little bit finer than I did with the white. And I was debating about making it as a tag. That's why I have it a little bit lower, and I thought having the craft tag, but I thought that'd look weird not having the white and everything on it like the rest of it. So I'm just going to make it not that tag angles on the top, you know, like a tag does. So it's just going to be a rectangle journaling card. And so now I'm going to glue that onto the craft paper, and then I thought I would add a little bit of art glitter glue on the all 4 sides so I know that it's completely stuck on there. a very fine border. It's going to be like, it's thinner than I normally do. Normally I always do a 1/4 of an inch, so that'll be like 1/8 of an inch border, but this is like half of that. It's like a 1/16 of an inch border probably. So yeah, I'm just kind of trimming it off, giving that very fine border. And I liked where this was going, so then I measured it to see where it was at, and it was actually 3 3/4 by 4 3/4 because I wanted to know how big I needed the paper in the back. So I'm going to do a 1/2 inch smaller, so it'll be 3.5 by 4.5. I used the white to do in the back, so you have a spot to journal on in the back of the card. And so this one will have my normal 1/8 of an inch border like I normally do. And again, I'm just going to use the art glitter glue. Making sure no glue oozes out. Press it down really good, and then just using the tool to make sure it's all varnished really good, stuck on well. And getting any glue that oozed out. So I wanted to use this frame. I wanted to cut out the border around the deer, but I didn't think that'd be exciting to watch, so I did that really quick off camera. And then I want to have this snowflakes that I embossed with a scrap piece of cardstock behind the frame. And so I just kind of messily cut around it so none of it would show out. I could have just used a pencil and traced it, but I didn't. And then I wanted to have some blue on the snowflakes, so I used this spa blue acrylic paint. You could use ink, you could use anything. Sadly, the top was a little dried up, so I had to tear that up, but very finely, I just used a teeny tiny bit on my finger and just kind of rubbed it on. If you have like a light blue ink or something, that would work too. It's just, I just have it there, and I thought this would work, and it was the color I was going for, so I used it. If you had Tim Holtz, what is it, the tumbled glass, I think that would work, or speckled eggs would have probably worked too. But it did not take much at all, because I didn't really want the paper blue, I just wanted the snowflakes blue. And then this frame was a little dark, so I used some white acrylic paint and just kind of distressed it around the edges. And I really like how that looked. I just kind of lightly dabbing it, just a teeny weeny bit on my finger, and giving that distressed look. And I also liked it because choosing the white because it made it look like snow was on it, which gave that winter woodland look. Just needs a tad bit more on the inside. There we go, all better. I'm gonna put all that away. Now it's time to glue the frame onto the embossed paper with the snowflakes. Just trying to line it up right so none of it will show outside of the frame. Just kind of pressing it down. And then I definitely wanted this light blue Monopoly card. It was a vintage one that I found at a thrift store. And then I wanted more stuff around it, so I was looking through Tim Holtz stuff and just trying to see what I had with the same colors. I really liked this, but I didn't want the twos to show, and then it seemed pretty big that it was like taking up the whole background kind of Like you couldn't see the tree anymore, and that was definitely too big. So I was looking, so I opened this one up and tried finding some more that was smaller. And so I'm just kind of going through them and see what I've got, what could possibly work that I could layer in the back. And I like the color of this one. I was trying to find something to put on the bottom right. Just gonna kind of fiddle around and see what will work and what won't. I tried using one of these circles that says specials, and it didn't quite work. Because I remembered I had these snowflakes that I punched out, and I really wanted to try using one. There was this really light blue one, and I thought that would look really nice, and since it looks like a snowflake, I thought that would be perfect. And I finally decided to use it towards the top left, up behind the deer's head, and I really like that. And end up not using the other one because if I already had a circle, I didn't need another one. I thought it looked kind of weird having two. I really like this one because it had like a light blue to it, but I wanted to distress it, so I was looking for one of my handy tools that I use to distress. You could simply use a pair of scissors. You don't need like any fancy tools to distress the paper, but I really like this tool because it has different textures on it. I've looked for it for years, and I got it. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember how many years ago it's been since I found it. Finally, I gave up because every place I looked for this tool, they were out of stock, and I just happened to stop at a Hobby Lobby like years ago, and they had one left, and it was on clearance. It was like reduced or whatever, and I couldn't believe it. It's one of Primo Marketing's products, tools, and I love it because it gives all sorts of different textures. And then since I distressed that one, I thought this one needed to be distressed as well. And this one, I didn't need the whole thing, only a certain part was going to be shown. So I thought I might as well cut the rest off and save that for something else. And of course I had to distress that one as well. And then I thought about distressing this one as well, but then I remembered I had some fabric that I stamped when I was doing one of my mask making. I was using scraps of fabric, and I thought maybe I could use one of them instead. And so I was just going through all of them and trying to find one that I liked. And I thought also using ones with fabric, it would give another fun texture to it than just plain old paper. I really liked the color and the stress of this one, but it seemed like the number was too big. I tried finding one that was a little bit thinner. I ended up using this one a lot. Ones that I stamped like this. And so I think I finally got the collage going how I want it, what I'm going to layer with it. So I'm going to start gluing everything down. First I did the Monopoly card towards the top right. And I used my art glitter glue for this because, the cards are quite thick. And then I'm going to start gluing some cheesecloth on the back of the deer, because it kind of gives that fun texture to it, and to me it makes it look like snow. And I'm gonna kind of trim it down a little bit. And then since I liked it, I wanted it all over the deer than just behind its head. And so I'm just laying it out flat and going to add some glue on the deer and just lay it onto it, the cheesecloth, and then trim around it. And I'm going to pull a couple pieces around it to make it look distressed instead of looking like it just got cut off. And I just keep snipping, keep pulling and snipping until I get it just right. I kept trimming more and more off throughout the video. I thought it didn't look right having it between the legs, so that's why I'm trimming it down even more. And then I thought that some of the other things needed to have some cheesecloth behind it as well, because I thought it looked weird having the deer be the only thing with the cheesecloth behind it. So I did it under some of the ephemera. And here I'm trimming more of the cheesecloth off. I've been gluing everything down that's all the way from the back and working my way to the stuff on top, piece by piece. And again, I just keep snipping at it, trimming it down a little bit. I feel like I'm giving it a haircut. And wanted that snowflake that I'm gluing down right now, just behind the ear, because in the center there's like a brad, not a real brad, but like the picture has like a brad in the center and it's quite dark, and I want all light colors, so I'm trying to make sure that that's covered by the deer's ear. And now I think I'm finally satisfied it's time to start gluing the deer down. And then I thought it needed just a tad bit of cheesecloth behind the frame right there. So that way 3 things, normally I try to do things by 3, that way there's 3 things with the cheesecloth behind instead of just 2. And then there's this tiny piece of fabric I just randomly put behind there. Might as well use up the scraps, which actually I think is off of that little piece right there. It's like a little extra at the end that I snipped off, because I left room to put an eyelet on there, and I wasn't going to use an eyelet on this one, so that's why I snipped that off, and I thought I might as well put some on the top right since there'll be this on the bottom left to add some more texture. And now, of course, I used my crocodile punch. Again, I used a small one to make little circles. I've been doing it a lot throughout this journal to make tiny circles that look like snowflakes, and just kind of scatter them all over the place. And then I use my pencil, which is made to help place little jewels and stuff, little rhinestones. I use it for this a lot. It works great. Just helps pick it up and put a tiny piece of glue down and place them back down. It's a lot easier than doing it with my fingers. And then I found there's like, I got 3 things that are brown, 3 things that have the light blue, and then the white, I got snowflakes, the background, so I kind of had things going by 3, and then the back is all clear to journal on. I hope you like this little tag. If so, give it a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!